So today we will, make sure this is, yes, it is going. Today we're going to talk about how to understand the presentation of gender within literature, and specifically focusing on Shakespeare, because Shakespearean comedies provide us with wonderful material with which to criticize, consider, and explore gender roles in society and how literature presents them. So first we have a question. It's a question I'd like to ask you. I'd like to generate some discussion spanning all 6 of the plays. How does Shakespeare represent men and women in his plays? So I want you thinking in a political sense of what sort of roles does Shakespeare seem to be ascribing to men and women through his male and female characters? What do you get from it? Ellie, start us off.
Well, I get the impression that women weren't allowed to be lawyers because in Merchant of Venice, Portia and Nerissa dress up as lawyers, and it said that women aren't usually lawyers.
Interesting. However, the fact that they dress up as lawyers and effectively argue the case and win the case shows us what about women? So, how does Shakespeare represent men and women in his plays? In Merchant of Venice, it seems that we have this character named Portia, who is, by the way, one of the coolest female characters that you'll ever read in literature, who is exceptionally intelligent and in control. In fact, Ellie, take it one step further. With which male character does Shakespeare contrast her? A male character who doesn't seem to be in control of the situation and seems almost more feminine in the situation, crying and whining about it, wishing that he could do something but can't. Yes, to a certain extent, Antonio, because of course he's the victim. He's the one about to be carved to pieces by Shylock. But I was thinking of somebody else. Who wants to step into that court and stop everything but is ineffective at doing so? Correct. Thank you. Bassanio. Antonio's best friend. A man of some stature and some importance in Venice steps into that court, tries to stop it, can't do it. Portia, the woman, can. So Shakespeare seems to be telling us that, hey, guess what? Women can do this, and women can do this really well. And almost he's implying that it takes a woman to argue this case, to deal with this villain, Shylock. But at the same time, they are not allowed by their society to do so. Okay, so is it only Ellie and Smriti here from Merchant of Venice? Okay, Taylor, then I'll ask you the question. In what other way in Merchant of Venice is Portia shown to not be allowed to make her own decisions and lead her own life?
When she can't pick her husband because of the
Very good. Her father's will prevents her from choosing her own husband, and she is bound by that will. Even though she seems intelligent and capable enough of choosing her own husband, she's not allowed to. Excellent. There's one message. Let's keep going. Midsummer Night's Dream. This is an excellent example. And for those of you who haven't read the play, this is fantastic because Bottom, that's his name, and by the way, it's intentional because he is an ass. And later, through magic, he literally becomes half donkey. So it's pretty fun. But Bottom and the rest of these players, this theatrical troupe, yes?
Did they do that play on Sweet Theatrically? Yes.
Okay. Yes, there you go. Good. Disney Channel connection always makes things clear for everybody. So, yeah, don't get me started. They perform this play. And part of the play, the tragical comedy, most excellent whatever of Pyramus and Thisbe, includes a lion. And they decide, when we enact the lion, We will step out on stage and warn all the women beforehand, I'm about to enact a lion. And my roar is not going to be a real roar. So don't be scared. Because they're afraid they're going to get in trouble by scaring the ladies in the audience. And when they actually do this in Act 5, it's hilarious because the lion comes out and gives this big preamble to what's about to happen. And the women in the audience are kind of looking strangely at what's going on. Now, this is a good example because here's what I want to question. And this is where you have to start attuning your mind. Is Shakespeare supporting this position, or is he criticizing this position? Does he support that women audience members are weak and therefore in need of extra care, or does he criticize that position as being ridiculous? I would agree with you, he criticizes. But the question now is, how do you know that? Well, you've all heard the summary. I think that any of you could hazard a guess at this, not just the Midsummer Night's Dream group.
If after he came out and said all that, if Shakespeare supported it, wouldn't he have made the women actually scared?
Correct. He would have made the women scared.
And not make them question it.
Very good. He would have shown the women as scared. He would have shown Bottom as accurate, and Peter Quince and the rest of these guys as accurate. He also would have given this opinion and position to characters that we would admire and respect. These players are characters of ridicule. We laugh at them. We like them. They're fun. But we laugh at them throughout the play. We think they're idiots, and they are. And they look like buffoons when they're doing this. If a writer writes somebody advancing a position and you like that person and respect them, that's the author saying respect the position. If the author writes somebody who's advancing a position and you think that person's ridiculous, don't respect the position. Perfect example from To Kill a Mockingbird. Who does Harper Lee use to advance the core thematic lessons of the book? Yeah, that one guy. No. Who Radley doesn't talk? No, not Jem. Oh, come on.
The guy who had
I know you're thinking of the Dolphus Raymond with the appearance versus reality thing. Don't judge a book by its cover. Atticus Finch. Oh yeah, all those speeches that he gave. To Sin, to Kill a Mockingbird. Don't judge somebody until you've walked a mile in their shoes. Harper Lee uses the character of the most respect and intelligence and moral fortitude in the novel to advance her thematic positions. If she gave those thematic positions to Bob Ewell, it wouldn't work because you don't respect Bob Ewell. So when we give these idiotic players a position that women are weak and therefore require extra care when being presented a lion on a theatrical stage, we think, yeah, it's ridiculous. Women are stronger than that. And that's what Shakespeare wants you to believe. So both of these positions seem to be fairly supportive of women, that women are strong characters.